What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and the video of the Flysky FS i6S transmitter. Now what I'm doing here is I'm going to go ahead and bind the receiver to the transmitter. This is the receiver that came with the transmitter. It's the FSIA6B receiver, and I have a quadcopter opened up. This is the i6S Wizard, and what I have is the S-bus wire connected to the flight controller, and it is a 3-wire connector and the 3-pin connector. So what I'm going to do is hook it up to the receiver. So there's a black wire, red wire, and a white wire. The white wire to the top and the black wire to the bottom. And on the receiver, that top port right there is the ibus port. So what we're going to do is connect it to those 3 pins with the black wire to the inside and the white wire to the outside. And what we need to do also is get this bind key, and what we're going to do is plug it into the rightmost port, the bind port, and we need to power up the quadcopter. Now the receiver is in a binding mode. The red light is flashing, as you can see there. So now we have the transmitter. We are in the binding page. So all you got to do is hit that bind, and it will bind automatically so fast that it is scary, guys. So hit that bind and boom, you are bound. Now the red light is solid and we already have bound. That's how fast it is to bind. All right, so let's go ahead and check it to see. And there you go. On the home page, we have the RX connected. All right, so let's go ahead and undo the bind key, and let's just unplug the quadcopter. Oh, come on, you can do it. There you go. We have the alarm, and there is no RX connection. All right, let's plug it back in. And just like that, we have reconnection. All right, so we have successfully bound the receiver to this transmitter. All right, the quadcopter has been reassembled somewhat. I put back the side plates and the top plate, screwed it back down. The receiver is inside here, and I have double-sided taped it to the flight controller using this white double-sided tape. This thing is real sticky, so it will stay on there pretty good. So the antenna wires were routed to the back. These are the 2 antenna wires here, and I just zip tied it to the rear standoffs and gave it a little bit of a V there. So that looks pretty cool. And now to the transmitter. All right, what we are going to do now is we're going to remove the back cover of the transmitter so we can take care of this throttle spring. So what we need to do now is get rid of this rubber grips on both of the sides, because there's going to be a couple of screws that's hidden underneath here. But before we do that, let's go ahead and take out all of the batteries. Put those on the side, and if you start playing with the rubber grips from the back just a little, you are going to be able to just peel it right off, and from the front you just peel it right off, and it takes just a little work. But there's the screw up there and there's the screw down here, so you want to do the same thing to this side here. Just use your nail and just kind of work that rubber to come right off, and it comes right off. And then take the front of the rubber out like so. It just should come right off. There you go. Remove both sides of the rubber grips and expose are the screws. Okay, so let's remove the screws. Okay, all of the screws are removed, so the back plate should come right off. And let's take a look underneath to make sure nothing is on there. Okay, so everything is fine. So we got a couple of wires for the power, and this cable here is connected here for those two buttons in the back. So let's go ahead and remove the power and the cable, so we are free of, my goodness. So grab the little cable and pry it out. Okay, whew, that was hard. Okay, the back plate is removed now, and some of the screws fell out. There's the 4 screws that fell out. And here is the back of the transmitter on the inside. Everything looks pretty good. I can see that there's that buzzer, and here is the receiver antenna there, or transmitting antenna. There's 2 of them here. One's going up, making a cross almost. 2 of them right on the top. So pretty neat. So what we want to do then is, this is the throttle. So we're going to be working with this gimbal here. So let's move it up and down. Okay, what am I looking at here? So we've got a little thing holding it and pushing it back on this side right here. Yep, there it is. That's that spring right there. If you can see that spring, there you go. That spring is right here. So we need to remove that spring, and what it looks like is it's connected to this little notch right here. Hopefully you can see that. This screw right here with this little clasp, and the spring is wrapped around that little clasp. So we need to remove that and remove the spring. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, be careful to hold on to it, because you don't want to lose that spring, or you really don't need it. But after this, whoa, that is a very long screw there. So how is it stuck on there? Okay, the spring is still on there. So what we need to do is we need to get a little tool to take this thing out. All right, so let's get a little tool. Okay, I got my little hemostat, so I can pull that little thing out. So we gotta be careful. And that's what it looks like. Just need to pull it out. Okay, there's the spring. I pulled it out, and I'm gonna let go, and then go ahead and remove that little piece, and there it is. It is a little piece. Kind of hard to focus on it. There you go. There you go. There's a little piece there, and the spring is attached to it. So just pull that little piece out. And let's check out the gimbal now. Oh yeah, no problem. It's just freely moving up and down, and there's still a little piece of something in there. It's like the lever. Okay, so it is stuck underneath in here, so we need to pull that baby out. And let's see if we can pull that baby out. You know what, it's kind of stuck in there. It's a little bit hard to pull it out because of that little bar. This little bar right here is holding it down. So what we need to do is release that little bar somewhat. So what we need to do is remove this gimbal out, and I'm gonna have to unscrew those two and maybe unscrew those two. But you know what, I'm just going to see if I can unscrew these two and kind of loosen up this side, so this lever right here, this bar, moves up a little bit and I can slide this baby out. All right, so let's go ahead and unplug this connector. Jesus, I'm having a hard time unplugging things with this one. So there we go. You just gotta use a little bit of force. Hopefully we don't break any wires while you're doing that. So let's go ahead and unscrew this a little bit and see if it moves about a little bit better, a little bit more perhaps, or I need to loosen it up. There you go. I loosened it up a little bit, and hopefully now the little piece will come out. It is starting to move towards the exit. Nope, still needs a little bit more room to get out. So I guess we're gonna have to remove it completely, or maybe now it might want to make an exit. Come on. There we go. There you go. That's why it wouldn't come out, that little half moon rocker there. So we don't need this anymore. We'll put that on the side. And now all we need to do is tighten this back down. And then we'll plug this back in here. Come on. Now it doesn't want to go back in. Okay, we plug that back in and we are good to go. Now, there's no restriction like notches or anything, and that's what this is right here. And on this side as well, as you can see, there's slight corrugation or whatever, little grooves in here. So if you put like a restriction bar maybe on this hole to this hole, it will give you a little bit restriction and clicking of the sticks, but they don't provide you with any of that. That would be nice if they did provide you with something like that, so you can adjust one of them to become throttle and you have that clicking noise on the throttle, but we don't have that. So I'm just going to leave it like that. So that's better than it springing back and forth. So when you turn it over to the other side, now I have freely moving gimbal on the throttle. Oh my, that is very loose though. But then again, I won't be yawing. I know exactly I'm going up and down, so there's no mistake on hitting the yaw. So throttle up, throttle down. All right, so just got to be careful with that, I guess. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put the back cover back on and we should be ready to go. All right, everything is put back together. Now we have a freely moving throttle stick. So we are all good to go. Okay, so we're at the transmitter And when I did the binding, the model was chosen to be the Model 1, as well as the output mode was on the ibus on the serial side, and that is all I did. So all of the functions that I've adjusted on the first video setup with the channels 5 and 6 is for this model particularly. So that is all I did, and it is bound. So now we can go ahead and hook it up to Betaflight and configure the modes and the switches for this particular transmitter. All right, guys, I got everything hooked up. Now we are hooked up to Betaflight, and I've got the quadcopter all hooked up, the battery and everything. And we also got the transmitter here, and it is hooked up to the quadcopter, and it is bound. So let's take a look here. So I am in Betaflight, and we are in the setups page. So we're going to go to the ports page, and previously I had this quadcopter already set up with the FrSky X4R receiver, and I had it hooked up to my Tyrannus. So the serial RX is already set up on UR3, and that's the receiver cable that I use to connect to the receiver. So that is all set, and let's go to the config and slide on down, and what we're going to find is that the serial receiver is hooked up over here, and it is on S-bus from the previous receiver. So we're going to go ahead and change that to ibus and hit save and reboot, and there you go, rebooted. And then the fail-safe is set to drop, and the PIDs is the same thing as previously. And we are in the receiver mode, and as you can see, the quadcopter is just spinning because we are in the TAER channel map. So we're going to change that to AETR, which is the Flysky, and we are connected. So let's throttle up. Yep, the throttle is working. The yaw is working as well, and the pitch, there you go, and the roll. Okay, the endpoints seem to be pretty good. 2000, 1000, 1000, almost 2000. So that's pretty good. The center point, however, is, yeah, that's pretty good. 14, 15. Okay, not bad, not bad. And the quadcopter is not moving at all, so that is great news. So let's go over to the modes, and I have it set up like this from the previous. So aux1, all right, so that's the SWA for arming, and SWC, and everything is all set up just like how it was previously. All right, so that is all good to go. So that is it, guys. Everything is set up, and all I got to do now is take it outside for a test flight, just about. So let's go ahead and do that, and I don't think I need to do anything else in here. So let's go ahead and just set the accelerometer to level position, since I already have it on a level spot, and I think that's it. All right, let's go ahead and power up. Nice. Plug in the quad. All right, we got signal, so it is already bound. So let's check it out, guys. Arming it. There we go. Stand back a little bit. Feels pretty good. Yeah, the throttle stick is very loose because there's no tension on it. So it feels kind of weird, but that is fine. You can get used to it. Nice. Not bad. Feels good. The grips are really nice. Feels good in the hands. Very light. It's a very small transmitter. Well, not really that small, but my thumbs have more than enough room to go up and down on it. Very nice. Yeah, I got full control of the range of the sticks here, so there's no problem with that. All right. And the controls are very nice and accurate. Very good, very good. Yeah, I'm liking this transmitter. Okay, that's in angle mode or stabilized mode. Let's go to horizon mode. Yeah, the horizon mode is nice too. All right, nice flip. I didn't throttle up in time there. There we go. Don't drop the throttle all the way, because in Betaflight I have the motor stop. So in horizon and angle mode, if you drop the throttle all the way down, the motors will shut. So be careful with that setting. All right, not bad. Now I'm gonna go to acro mode here. Yeah, acro mode works good. Very stable too. Nice controls. Nice. All right, I think we can put on some goggles and do some FPV and see how that feels like. All right, so let's do that. Very, very fine controls. There we go. Nice. Alright guys, ready to do some FPV. I'm going to be using my jjrc jjpro goggles. I have a DVR attached to it, so I'm going to record the flight on the goggles as well as the Mobius cam on the quadcopter. So let's try that. Alright guys, just got done with the FPV flight, and I must say this transmitter is awesome. It feels good in the hands. The controls are very accurate. In the beginning I was trying to get used to the sticks and such, but towards the middle and towards the end I was starting to feel a little more comfortable with it, and it'll probably take about 3 or 4 more flights to get used to it. I had to change out the Mobius camera on it because it didn't want to start recording, so I'm using my Runcam HD, so hopefully that came out well. As well as I recorded my session with the DVR on my jjrc jjpro goggles. Man, these goggles rock too, man. At this price, $50 I believe, you can get yourself this nice FPV goggles. But the main story is the Flysky FS i6S. This transmitter just rocks. For this price you get the receiver plus the transmitter. So thanks for watching guys. Please subscribe and share, and have a great day. There's somebody walking over here.